I love it how you always dance to the music, JP.
Yeah. And I'm just missing the popcorn. That's all.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. You found a necklace to put on. I see.
did. I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. That's
I found it. I found it. All right. Well, Janice, we have a fun project today.
Yeah.
Before we start out, I want to say it's right down there. Today only, if you're watching us live, it is Wednesday, January 28th. And we have marked our table cuts down because we went a little crazy and we stocked a lot.
From the Great Bead. Yeah.
From the Great Bead. And we want everybody to have them. So we did a big sale today. It was in the newsletter. It's right down there. They're marked down 15% on our website. If you stack it with the coupon code January 10, that'll bump it up to 25. Because we want to clear these shelves because we've got new ones to get in. So buy these so we can get more.
Where are they on the homepage, Kate?
No, it was in the newsletter.
Okay, so let me link.
And if you go to sale, they're in the sale category.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah.
If
you go to sale, they're right there. Oh, they're selling already.
Well, what did you think was going to happen?
What's that? 6, 8, 10.
Oh, I've got to get off of YouTube. I'm getting double there.
Oh, am I?
No, I was everyone. You were echoing. I was echoing.
Everyone's echoing.
Yeah. So now
I love how we didn't coordinate and yet we're coordinated.
Yeah.
Which I love. We always do that.
This is a true story. We did not talk before we dressed.
Before. And, sometimes Miranda and I do that too. So, it just happens, right?
Yeah.
So thank you very much, everybody, for your kind words. That's super nice. So this week we are doing this charm bracelet because we did this heirloom hearts, which came in and out like in a hot minute. So those of you who grabbed it, I'm excited that you grabbed it for sure. And then so we thought, you know what? We need to actually do a show on it if you got this one. Or you can use the table cuts to make your charm bracelet. And Janice, you're wearing your vintage ones.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Gorgeous.
They were Lydia's, and then this one everybody pretty much knows.
Yeah, let me take this. Let me take this banner off. Hang on.
Okay, there we go. This one I took apart. Boy, I wish I could have just duplicated it, but I took it apart, put it with pearls, and now I just wear it all the time.
Yeah, you wear it all the time. Yeah, it's such a good one for that. Flash your wrist one more time, Janice, so everybody can see that a little closer.
Yeah, and I want to show, let me see. There's this one, the airplane.
Oh, look at that, Janice.
It's a crazy one. And then this one is a locket.
Oh, I love it.
And then these are fobs that were from those watch fobs,
old watch fobs. So gorgeous.
Cigar guys used to wear it and here's another one. I've had to put like a rhinestone in there. And then I wanted to show this little bracelet because all of these old charm bracelets, you can see where it's a little damaged, have these minute safety chains on them.
Yeah.
In the old days. I can't stand them. They irritate the heck out of me when I'm trying to put a bracelet on, and you can only get it that wide. But anyway, this is an old golden onyx one, and it's a child's bracelet.
Oh, look at that.
So it's from Victorian era, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
You know, when or after, sometime around then. You can see this beautiful. You want to one more
Oh,
close
yeah.
up?
Let me see.
So this side. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Look at that, JP.
I know. Just that little, everything mattered.
Yeah,
in
that
those
little
days.
scroll work.
You
Yeah.
know, they didn't have the internet. They didn't have phones. They just had time.
Yeah.
And why not add some scrolling and
Yeah.
some loops and some,
Yeah. And
you
just
know,
some pretty little, you know,
yes. Yeah.
little embellishments, which I love.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to do that today, and we're going to do that with the with this charm bracelet here. Let me show you. Let me add this to the mix here. I hope everybody is staying warm. We are going through it right now, right? But it's pretty nice here in Fresno today. We have a nice nice sunny day, which is good. But I hope everybody's staying safe and warm. I also wanted to mention, JP, actually, let me take this off. We had such a fantastic class on Saturday.
Yes, you did.
It was really fun. I really wanted to thank everyone for joining me. It was our first quilting class that was online. It was so fun. A big shout out to my mom and a thank you for her joining me to teach. So we're going to do another. We're looking to do a follow-up class for that. And if you missed that class, I'm going to do it again. I'm taking a little bit of a break from sewing, but we'll start it back up in about a month or so. And people have also asked for another bag class. So those are coming. So I don't worry. I have my nice cozy sewing teaching corner over there. So it's a lot of fun. So thank you for all of you for joining me there. So I just wanted to mention that. So here we are with this charm bracelet, and I have the layout. Oh, Lorraine, I'm so glad. Lorraine was there. Yep, Sharon was there. It was a lot of fun. We sure had a good time.
Lorraine is moving to Fresno.
Well, she says because the weather is nice here, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that was why, though. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome. So here is my design board, still kind of reeling from TGBE, still having all of these charms and all these table cuts on it. I'm really riding this table cut wave because I love them so much. The necklace that I'm wearing is one of the colorways you can see here. I've been wearing it a lot. It's really just such a fun,
so beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And I want to add some more. I'm kind of moved to add a few more beads and stuff on here. You know, for this one that we're doing today, the charm bracelet, I added in the 8mm mixed strand of fire polish. And so I kind of sorted them out, and I have like these in the purple and in this kind of smoky topaz color like this, or the topaz and stuff. So I thought that those would also really go well with this colorway. I really want to make this even more kind of encrusted with more beads. I really want it to be super luscious. So I'm going to kind of add some more, which is fun. This project is so fun in that you can just keep adding and adding. So what I have here And this Prairie 8mm mix was pretty nice. It had a bunch of kind of different colors to it. It had these kind of light blues, which go with this table cut strand that I chose. And then, as I said, I'm going to move these purples and topaz colors over to that piece there. But Janice, what you were saying with the with your vintage charm bracelets and that bangle that you showed, we're really going to try and make each one of these little units kind of as interesting as we can. So let me get in a little bit tighter. You can see I pre-wire wrapped the beads on one strand. Okay. Then I added some from that Prairie. And what I did was we put the metal seed beads, the 8/0 in little bags. We still have a few left, not a lot, but because you folks love that concept. But we do still have some of the metal seed beads if you don't want to buy the long tube. You could also, instead of the metal, you could use an 8/0 seed bead, an 11/0. You could put anything here, right? You could also grab some bead caps, put them on. But when I counted these out, okay, I had, when I cut down my foot of chain, okay, and for me, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, I have 19 rings here, right? Chain loops. And so for me, my wrist is 6.5 inches, and I counted it out, and I want a little dangle on here. So I'm going to close this onto the third from the end loop. So I'm going to add some other little dangles there at the end. So if I count what I have here, I have, let me see. Come on, untangle. If I start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've got 18 loops. Okay.
Kate, can you come a little bit more into the
Sure.
There.
Is that better? Sorry about that.
Better. Yeah.
And I counted, I have 18 dangles that I've kind of laid out, though they've kind of gotten a little moved around. But if I kind of fix them up, I've got 18 dangles here. So I have a choice to make about how I'm going to put these on my chain. Okay. And you can do it. I mean, there's no wrong answer here. But I was thinking that if I want to, let me get in a little tighter if I can here. If I want to start over here, let's say, and these are my first 2 beads. The chain, the way that this chain is made, one chain link is flat, right? And one is going the other way, right? So it's flat and then it's up like this. So I could put the ones that are flat on the flat one, and then I could choose one side to put this other charm on. And I could rotate them around, right? So if this one's flat and that one's up, I could put these ones on the one that's up and then this one that's on the flat and keep going, right? So that I have...
Oh, sorry. You could also you could skip a link and on every down link, put 2.
Right. That was that's what I was going to show next. That's kind of the choice that we kind of need to make here is, do we want more space in between and just put them on the flat links? or do we want to crowd them a little bit and put them on the uplink and on the downlink?
Here's another option. What if you put the two on the downlink right next to each other?
Oh, like this. Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I could. Yeah,
Then
like this.
they're all, when you are wearing it, they're
Right,
all
they're all facing
yeah.
the same way. Right. That's
There's
another
no wrong
option.
answer on this.
I kind of liked having them this way, so maybe they'd swing out a little bit more, but I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. So, I'm going to put these 3. We're going to test it. Okay? I'm going to put these 3 like in this configuration. And then I'll put 3 more in this configuration. Okay? And let's just see what it looks like, right? The great thing about this design is I've already pre-wire wrapped this, and Janice put up the wire wrap skill builder. But the fun thing about this is that they're mobile, right? We can add our jump ring and we can move them around. So I'm going to put one on this side. I used 2 pliers here, right? A bent chain and a regular chain. I also have already added, I'm using the swivel clasp right here. So this, I've used just 2 jump rings because again, JP, we were saying earlier when we were doing the charm necklace, adding that little double ring, you can see it right there. It just gives that little extra touch, to make it look really finished and pretty.
It also is, it's also like if you were a bridge, which would you rather have? One link holding the cable together or 2?
Right, exactly. So we're going to have this on like this. So these 2. And yeah, I think that what we're going for is whatever makes these links, whatever makes everything look a little fuller, maybe. I don't know. But let me do a couple of these. So this, I skip one. That's this one that's flat. And I put this one on. And I'm going to put the big one now up here and the smaller one down here. Okay. I love it that so many people have charm bracelet collections. I have done a charm bracelet for each decade. My mom started that tradition with me. So I am going to be on my 6th charm bracelet. My one for my 50s is it's pretty much full. So I'm going to have to start a new one for my 60th, my sixth decade. But I wear them. I love the sound of a charm bracelet. I've also done one for other special occasions, like my friend Mary and I, when we used to costume shows together. She did the costuming and I did all the hair and makeup. We started a charm bracelet. So each show that we did had a charm, which was kind of fun. So I'll put that one down there. And let's see. So Janice, you were answering Leslie's question. Do you want to answer that one out loud?
Sure. I actually think it would make a great project. So you could do, Leslie, I don't remember doing the elephant on thread and not on chain. I thought it was on, I'd have to go back and look. But you could do this all glass on like Ceylon or wax linen. Excuse me. I would, and we should do this sometime, but
Yeah.
you could make, bring a small loop of a Ceylon through an elephant or through a bead. We used to have the elephant beads.
Right.
And then you would do like a knot large enough underneath it, so that the bead, or use a glass seed bead so it doesn't go through.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd let the tails of the Ceylon, be like a little tassel,
Mm-hmm.
and then those could all be strung on a strand of glass beads or pearls or anything but metal, and then knot in between them. And yes, you can do this without metal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Lois says, hi, so happy to be here. Lois, we're happy to have you here. We're happy to have everybody here. I love it. Curtis is asking, and that's a good question. So Curtis is saying, I have my mom's charm bracelet full of charms from our family vacations together. I'm wondering how I can take the charms and make it more masculine to wear it. I think, Curtis, you could do something like maybe something with leather cord. I'm just pulling this off here because I've got it and it had a charm. But this is kind of that Tahoe bracelet that we do, or the Tahoe, the Tahoe, where we have the leather and then we put beads on it.
We
then
can't really see it, Kate.
Oh, sorry. There. Or there we knot and crimp. Let me scoot out just a little bit. I'm a little close here.
Yeah, better.
So this, see how this comes around? I've got my loop there, or my button there. And then, so you could do this with multiple strands. This one just happens to have that little charm on it, but you could use some, like, I don't know, 6/0 beads or something. That might be kind of fun to put, to change the base to leather. It might be kind of good.
I also think I'm starting to see many more guys wearing chains and leather with a couple of charms on each one, so that they're not all together.
Right, so they're kind of slack.
But that it's like a neck mess.
Mm-hmm.
And so you wouldn't necessarily use all the charms, but you could combine that with like hanging a nugget or two off of a chain or the leather, so that it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to use them all up at once, Curtis. You could use just a few. But that's interesting that they're from family vacations.
I know, I love it. I would always get them from vacations. A lot of mine have vacation charms on, or my mom would bring me a charm back from one of her travels. I still go, though I didn't get one this last time we were in Hawaii. I should have looked for a charm for that vacation, but I like getting a charm from travels.
Mm-hmm.
I have some from when I went to Europe, in my college years or whatever. So that was fun. So see how these are coming.
They look luscious, really luscious.
Right? So you can decide like how you want them to sit. So see how they're sitting a little differently. These sit on the bottom like this, the two. These kind of fill in like this. So I don't know, maybe I like it from the top and from the bottom.
Yeah, I do too. It's fuller.
Yeah, I think so. Fuller. Yeah, my mom is saying, because she bought a lot of those charms for me when she was traveling, but she would make one for herself too. So each place starting in 1972 until she retired in 2007. It's quite a bracelet for sure.
Yeah. You and I were talking yesterday about an upcoming project with ties.
Yes.
I'm wondering, Curtis, if I don't know if you wear a tie or even if it's loose, um, you might want to think about our upcoming project Kate's going to do with men's ties and embellishing them. And that's a great place for your charms. Is
Yeah.
put those on the tie.
We're going to do some bead embroidery. I have it for March, and I'm working on the March monthly mix now. So we've got some really cool things for bead embroidery. And I was thinking about, I don't know if you guys have seen when Julia Roberts was kind of doing the red carpets and stuff. She wore a lot of menswear inspired looks, and she wore a lot of embellished neckties. And the neckties that she was wearing were had a lot of brooches and stuff on them. So yeah, we're gonna play around with embellishing. We're gonna take the base is gonna be a thrifted or a men's tie out of, like maybe your partner's closet, or you go to the thrift store or whatever. I'm going to see if I don't know. All of Chris's ties are pretty, what do I want to say? Dear to him, because they have a lot of memories, I think. So I'll see if I can swipe one, or I'll just go to the thrift and grab one. It'll be kind of fun. Yes, Christine Whitney. That's one of my favorite parts of that movie, when Rosalind Russell is on stage with Vera Charles, and Vera gives her a part in the play, and she's wearing this really disruptive charm bracelet. It's just hilarious. I just love it. So yes, Vera Charles. So if you haven't watched Mame with Rosalind Russell, she's my spirit animal. So I love it. Cheryl's saying she did many theater productions for children, and she has her charms from her theater shows. Yeah, I just love it. I think that charm bracelets really, even though we were saying they kind of go in and out of vogue, I think that they are so fun. They've never gone out for me, for sure. I just love them. So yeah, think about it. Think about starting one for maybe someone, in your life, or make something like this and put some other kind of charms maybe from your collection, or do a necklace like Janice and I did. We did a broadcast.
Treasure necklace. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that charm necklace that you're wearing. I was looking for mine. I think mine is in the house, actually, because I also wear it quite a bit. But I put some specialty charms on there too. So it's a lot of fun to gather charms and use them, and, play around with kind of putting those in different configurations. So here we can see this is starting to kind of come together like this, right? And so we're getting there. We're filling these in. I'm going to go to this one now. Terry, I'm glad you were able to join us.
Yes.
It seems like everyone's having water emergencies with this crazy weather we're having, but I hope you can find a little bit of solace. This weekend definitely gave us some need for solace, but
yeah,
we're going to continue to craft on through all
through thick and thin, hot and cold
weather, through all instances. We're going to try and show up and be together. That's what we contribute here. Finding us a place of solace in your keeping your hands busy and your mind engaged, so we can fight another day.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Look at how this is coming together, right? I like it. It's looking good.
It's just gorgeous.
It's fun. And this, Janice, literally was one strand of the table cuts.
Right.
We can use two. We can make it as lush as we want it to be,
I
right?
want to
We
see
could
some
add,
yellow with it.
yeah, I could add this
Yeah,
strand just
that's beautiful. Oh,
kills me. I
they're
love the,
just, I'm going to link again to all of
yeah,
these.
this link.
Um, and I have to say, I have been a bad bead shop team member because I have let us go out of stock on so many things that I'm restocking now. I'm so sorry. Like we've been out of the frosted or the frozen um, super duos, and those are back in stock. And I'm getting
Yeah.
today, but I just ordered them, and lots of super duos we've been out of, and I've just been so busy with.
Well,
Um,
things have been busy, you know? I mean, we're trying to do so many things. We're trying to really, someone brought up JP, and thank you for sharing that, JP, because Janice works so hard behind the scenes to keep everything stocked. But, I was at a class weekend before last, and a couple of our Bead Shop viewers live here in Fresno. My friend Barbara was actually talking about how, she puts on our broadcasts and it feels like, we're making things together or whatever, which is really fun because when we
uh-huh.
are at our fiber guild, we are making things together, right? Which is cool.
Yep.
So, but one of the things, and my mom brought it up about how during the pandemic, we did that daily broadcast, right?
Yes, you did.
And so people were asking me about it and a couple of people were saying, "Oh yeah, we watched it." And I know a lot of you who are watching now watched those pandemic broadcasts. And it kind of feels right now, I feel like a lot of us feel helpless, right? Kind of that same way that we felt during the pandemic. Let's not sugarcoat it. Things are crazy right now. And, I could hardly, my mom wanted me to talk about it to some of the ladies, and I could hardly talk about it. I could hardly go back. I can't go back and really look at those. It was such a crazy time. And so I feel kind of like now we're trying to do, kind of the same thing. And we're so busy with trying to continue to stock products that you folks like and keep the price points at, prices that people can afford. Janice always, before she puts anything in stock, checks pricing and tries to do the very, very best we can to keep things affordable while still staying in business so we can still do what we love. So it's kind of that same thing, those small acts of what I like to call craftivism, and where we really try and do our very, very best, So that's what we're doing. We're trying to be a little bit of a beacon in this crazy world. So we appreciate your kind thoughts, your patience with us, and Janice, all that work you do to keep these beads in, is amazing. So I just
Well,
wanted to share that little peek.
well, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. And thank you everyone for all your nice messages about this. But I do want to make sure that more things, especially for projects that are
Mhm.
current, we want to make sure that more things are in. Now look at that yellow bead over there.
I know. I pulled
Look
this
at that.
out. These are some from the other project that I have here, um, which was which is fun. But yeah, I've got a little bit of this yellow. I've got these yellow
Yeah,
pieces. Don't those look nice?
they look just,
I am gonna
yes.
put this one on the end. We're gonna end it with this kind of peridot green color. I'm going to close that up. Let's take a look and see where we are now. So here on, I said I had 18 chain links, right? So every other one in 9 of the links, I put pairs of the charms. Okay. Now I still have some of these empty links.
Mm-hmm.
I could come in that empty link, in maybe that empty link down there, maybe that empty link, and maybe I need one more of something.
A red one or a
Red, I was looking for another
purple,
like
something.
yeah, what about this one?
Yeah. See, look at that.
That orange one, right? So let me put them in, right? Oh, I love this little, and Kristen is
Yes.
such a great artist. Kristen from Softflex says, adding a touch of yellow brings out other colors. I have something from her. This is a Softflex little pouch that they sent me for the holidays. This is one of Kristen's paintings. And yeah, look at how she used that yellow in here. Isn't that cool? Yeah, that was a sweet little,
it's just beautiful.
a sweet little memento from them. Let me get some more head pins. I'm going to mix my metals because I've run out of copper, and I use brass on these yellow ones. So,
Kate, can I ask you while you're making a new one,
Sure.
I would like to see you wire wrap it, but I'd also like to hear you say a little bit something about some have extra beads, some have their larger beads and they're only on their own. Is there any kind of thought you give to how long they are, or are they?
It's a great question. So you're talking, Janice, pardon me, about the individual dangles that are on.
Yes, yes.
So for the necklaces, I made them a little bit longer. Can you see that? Like this one is real long. It has 3. I've done some shorter ones, but I've done a lot of longer ones so that the drops maybe are a little, have a little more to say with them. So that they kind of, I've got short ones, I've got long ones. So it has a little more, variety in them. Mm-hmm. With the bracelet, if the charms are too long, they're going to get caught up on things, right? So I'm making them intentionally. See how I just have the bead and maybe a little bead on the end, right? So I'm making them a little bit shorter. What I did with these hearts, the heirloom bracelet, I just did these hearts and I did an A-dot on either side of them. And I did link them so there was a plain link in between them all. So they have a little more room to.
Well, don't you also, Kate, with a bead like a heart that dips in the middle?
Right.
You have to make sure you clear the edges of the bead when you're wire wrapping, or it's very difficult. You can crack the bead.
Exactly.
Trying to get your wire wrap into where that fold is.
So see here, like on this flower, how this is a 6-petaled flower, so it dips down. This one with the 5-petal flower, see how I put a bead there at the bottom, but at the top, it's easy to wrap because the flower petal comes up to a point. Okay, so I'll add another seed bead on the top here.
You only kind of learn these things through experience
Mm-hmm.
by trying to get, your wrap. Okay, no, I don't want to talk when you're doing this.
No, you talk.
I
I'm
know
just
everybody wants to see
telling.
you, hear you say what you're doing. So,
Well, I'm going to do these. So this is how I did all of these so quickly was I wire wrapped everything in like an assembly line. So I put all of my beads on the head pins first. Okay. Then what I did was I came in and I'll do another one right here. This is kind of a cool one. Um if I can find a head pin. Here we go. And so I just did everything in kind of like an assembly line. So I will put this bead on. I'm going to put a bead on top of it. So I did all of those. And then I came in and then I did the bend over the top. Okay. So this right here, I put my tip of my plier on top of that bead and I bend it so it gives me a space where I'm going to have about 3 wire wraps there. Okay.
we
So
used to call that the neck.
the
That
neck,
you're
exactly.
making a neck on, and the top of the bead, at the bottom, it has shoulders.
Mhm.
So now you're making the head.
Right. I'm going to wire wrap it around. So I have these 3. So now I'm going to change pliers like this. And I'm going to grab my round nose plier, which, where did it go? There it is. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to come up and over the top. You can see here on this tool how I have some old little marks here. Those marks will give me about the right size loop that I want. I don't want a loop that's too small. If the loop is too small, the loop is going to get caught on the jump rings and it's not going to flow nicely. So what I've done here is I've gone up and over the tool. Now I'm going to drop it to the bottom jaw of the plier and I'm going to bring it underneath so it's ready to wrap. Okay. So I put that one down. I do the next one. I line it up. You don't have to have these marks, and I don't usually have them, but this was probably left over from a wire show that I did or something like that. So there's that one, and I'll do this one right here. Okay. So while my hands are doing this repetition, it's a lot faster for me to do these wire wraps. Okay. So now I look at them and I see here, right here, see how my loop is kind of over to the side here, right? It's not seated right in a straight line above that wire. So what I do is I come in and I just give it a little, needs a little bit more of a twist, of a turn. And so now see how that loop, everything is nice and straight like that. And this wire is ready to wrap. So I'm going to come in, and usually I do it right after I make the loop, but I wanted to point that out. So I'm pulling this over. These head pins are gauge at about 21 gauge. We call them 20. They're between 20 and 21, I think. Maybe we do call them 21. I can't remember. But you could use 20 or 21. 24, I think, is a little too skinny for what we've got going on. So now what I do, since I'm going to come in and I'm going to attach these with a jump ring, I don't need to worry about attaching it to anything before I wire wrap it. So I'm just going to come in. Sometimes I use my fingers. I'm holding this nice and tight in my dominant hand. I'm tilting this drop towards my left hand, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to wire wrap 180 degrees at a time. So that's 1. This is 2. Now my hands are pretty strong, right? So this is giving me a pretty nice tight wire wrap. But I can come in and also do it with my bent chain. Oh, and thank you. Someone's asking for our coffee link. That link is right at the top of our YouTube page too. So thank you, Ramona, for asking. And Janice just put it in. So see here how I'm grabbing it right here. I'm going to bring it around that 180. I'm going to re-grab it, twist it around the back for that 180, twist it around the front. I want to make sure, though, that my wraps are pretty neat and they lay one below the other. And this gives me about 3 wraps. I'm going to do this other one. If I have enough wire like this, I will get my index finger and wrap with my fingers, at least sometimes that first one. And then if I have to come in and tighten it with my tool, I will. But sometimes using my hands, to be honest, is a little bit easier than using that tool. Okay, like this. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut all of these wires away. So let me get my cutter here. And I'm going to wedge that cutter right up next to, oh, thanks, right up next to this wrap. Okay, like that, and clip. And I'm going to cover that little piece of wire that I'm cutting away so that it doesn't fly away. I'm also going to try my maxi shear here like this, come in at an angle and clip, and see how I hold that. This is the cutter we have that has the wire retainer. So when you cut it like this, it hangs on to the piece of wire, see, so it doesn't fly away. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to push all of these little extra pieces right down so they don't catch.
You know, there's one last thing I do, and that is I rub my hand up and down the wire where I've wrapped the wire. I see if anything would catch
right
on something, and I always have a nearby emery board if I need to
file it a little
bit, or I have to go back with the tools and pinch it back in a little bit. But you don't want anything scratching there, or if you have an extension chain on the necklace, you don't want any of those that last charm on the chain to scratch your neck or a client's neck. It's just like, take a moment to do that.
And that really does make a difference. It makes it look. There we go. That's how I'm going to nestle those. Okay.
Great.
So I'm going to go ahead and get my, I think I'll add this one right there too. No, this one's going there. Okay. I don't need to add that one. So let me get my jump rings. And I'm going to add these onto the other chain. So I'm going to see that one will go at the bottom there. And again, I'm mixing my metals. Doesn't matter, especially in something like this. Here's this one. So this is the bottom of the link right there. I'm going to place it there so I know what's going on. I'll open my jump ring. Open it just enough to get that wire on. Put it on the link. This is that same feel good chain that I used while I was doing that necklace as well. So
I want to point out, though, Kate, for everyone watching, that you're not using the chain links as jump rings.
No,
And why aren't you?
because these rings are the chain is soldered. Is that what you
No,
mean?
no, they don't have the strength to be a jump ring. Like you could cut it off, a link of the chain thinking, oh, I can use this as a jump ring.
Oh, yeah. No.
It just doesn't have buoyancy. It's not half hard.
Yeah, you want to use jump rings that are
Yes,
really sturdy. That's why
yes.
we're using pardon me. That's why we're using these 18 6mm 18 gauge jump rings here. Because they're nice and heavy and they're cut flush and they're not too big either. They're large enough so that this what do I want to say? That this ring, when it's attached to this dangle, there's enough movement so that this dangle moves freely. It's not so big that this link is just going to open and pull open. So yeah, this 6mm 18 gauge is really the sweet spot. If you're using a smaller ring, maybe using the smaller jump ring, the next one down, but I would use this 18 gauge. I think is really the right size for this.
I would say have it in every flavor.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
So that you always have ones to choose from, so you don't
Yeah.
have to hunt them down. I'm going to put
Yeah.
that one right there. So
now Lynn is asking a great question about why you could have wire wrapped right to the link.
You could have. Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes I do that, honestly. But with a project like this, I'm not quite sure of the layout. You could really fine tune the layout and then wire wrap them directly to the chain. You want to make sure, though, that if you're wire wrapping these directly to the chain, that this loop is long enough so it has that movement. See here how this connection is on this loop. And there's a lot of movement here because of the jump ring. Okay. This one that I did here with the hearts, these are wire wrapped directly on. And let me show you how this looks. It just moves. You know, it still has that movement, but it doesn't have that little extra articulation in here. So the movement is a little bit different, right? And they will kind of flop around a little bit and stuff, but that's just kind of how they are. But you could do them directly.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
It's especially important with a necklace that you have that movement, because when you're putting charms like all the way up to the back and you're wire wrapping right to the chain, it's very possible for that charm to stick straight out rather than drop. And that's why I, on almost all necklaces, like the jump ring on a necklace from a chain to a charm, so that it drapes. It doesn't, get caught in anything or stick straight out like a spike. So
right. So it has that little elbow, that little bend. That's the other reason I also like using the swivel clasp, especially on a charm bracelet like this. But yeah, so this helps everything kind of twist around and sit nicely too.
Right.
And notice here on my last ones, how I said I was going to go into this third link. So here's the third link. And then what I did, I had these two fire polish here and then one fire polish on the end. So it kind of drops like a little dangle like that.
So pretty.
Yeah, really pretty. Lorena, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad she's back to watching the lives. It's great to see you, and we really appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. So let's see how this looks, shall we, JP?
Yes.
Let's see if I can get it on my wrist. I'm going to get it a little closer to my eyes. So
it's very adjustable if
yeah,
as a gift,
yeah.
because you've got all those different rings.
And let me.
Now, the truth to a bracelet is not when you're looking at it as Kate is now, but when you're actually dropping your wrist towards the floor,
Mhm.
and that it doesn't fall off. It's what I call, see, it's what I call the hips on
Mhm.
your wrist. We don't want it to go past.
Right.
That's gotten too long, don't you think?
Yeah, well, the thing is with a charm bracelet, it has so much like weight to it and everything that sometimes I find that if it's a little bit longer, it's actually a little more comfortable to me. It's not coming off my wrist for sure.
Okay.
But let me put it instead of on the third one, let me move it to the fourth one and let's compare. So let me do this. I need to have it more in my line of vision. So bear with me here for just a
Yeah,
second.
I think it's beautiful. I just have a little bit of regret that there's that one link that has nothing on it.
Which link?
The one right by the clasp. And
Yeah, I could add it. I've got something.
I feel like that's almost a third of the bracelet. And
Right.
I'm looking at, hardware. So
So
that's
this
just
fits,
personal.
this is fitting pretty nice. This is
Yes,
up to the
that's
fourth.
good. Yeah,
So that's the beauty of putting these on jump rings, right? So
exactly.
I can come in and I can actually, I'm going to move this one because this is not really working for me right there. So
Okay.
I'm going to move it and we'll move it to that bare spot. Let me see if I can get this off. Hang on. There we go. So I'll take it off from down here.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. I'll open it up. I need enough room to get this out. I'll go to this end. We were saying that we want something right here.
Yep.
So I'll put it there. And there you have it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice.
And it's not so big at the end that it's going to interfere and aggravate you with trying to put it on with the clasp there.
Exactly. And so I'm going to go with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go into this fourth one right here. Now, this fourth one does have dangles in it, but it doesn't, it's okay,
Yeah,
So
I don't think it'll
it
affect.
doesn't matter.
Right.
So I'm going to wrap this around. Let me get it. So
And Jill on YouTube is saying that the clasp often ends up on top, and that's
Mhm,
basically because of gravity, because
mhm,
the beads are heavier than the clasp in this case. In
mhm,
most chain necklaces, the clasp comes to the front of your neck because the clasp is heavier than the chain. So,
mhm.
but the opposite in a bracelet like this. So,
So you could also, like, if you didn't want the dangle here, you could just end it like this. I
mhm.
think though this looks nice. We could have made this a little bit shorter and just used, um, oh, see, I've got it in the third one. I felt like it was a little too big. Hang on. Let me see if I can get it into the fourth one. That's what we had decided we liked. There we go. So here's that dangle. So I could get rid of one of these dangles if I feel like it's too long. I could just
Or
cut this off and move this
you
up.
could cut that last link off and move your charms
Yeah,
up
up
one
to this
link,
one and
which
this one. Yeah,
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 yeah.
which
It's
I think
adorable.
would actually be a little bit better. I feel like this is just, well, it's fine. It goes in with everything else, so it's actually fine. But I think I'd like it better. It's just a hair
Yeah.
long. So I think I'm going to move it. Why not? Yeah, it does have a lot of great movement to it. So this is, you know, having those links, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then one in between like this, I think looks nice. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get rid of this bottom link like this. There we go. Cut that away. So now I've got these two. I'm going to take one of these off. I'm going to put it on the link above it. And I'll just put this green one on this same link. If you still wanted that same order to the beads, but it doesn't make any difference. I'll open that up, put that on, and make sure that they're completely closed. That ring wasn't as closed as I wanted it to be. There we go. All right.
It's adorable.
I'm going to come in and I'm checking this. This one has a little burr. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get really tight up on this burr so you can see it. Can you see that burr that's there? What I do is I get my bent chain nose plier for that burr, and I come in. If the burr is pointing at me, okay, like this, and it's going this way, the wire is wrapping that way, I'm going to come in front of the burr like this, and I'm going to smush it. That's kind of the word. I'm going to push it down, and then I'm going to turn it, and I keep kind of pressing that plier down so it curves that little piece of wire, and you can see there's no more burr there. So start like this and walk that, you know, open and close that plier while you turn your dangle. And these bent chain, especially these 90-degree, really fit nicely. You could use this one, right? You could do the same thing with your straight chain, but your wrist is at a little bit of a different angle there. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put this back on. These are the Xuron 90-degree pliers here.
I'm going to link them now.
Okay, yeah, they're a great tool. I love them. Let me see if I can find the right link. Is it this one? There it is. Okay. So there it is.
Very pretty.
Let me scroll out. And I could definitely just keep layering these with my other heart chain. This heirloom was really pretty, and I know a lot of you have asked about these hearts. You know, the hearts that we carried for this kit, they were a kit exclusive. If you like them, I will try and get them back in. Our vendor right now is in Tucson, so we won't get them before the Valentine's Day holiday. But they have such a nice vintage feel to them. So maybe I'll do them in just the little mixes. I'll see if they have any left. They may have all gone, but it's pretty fun. So yeah, I think it really looks right. This is very, as someone says, deluxe. Yes, very deluxe for sure. So fun. I also wanted to put on the board here. Remember, we put all of the table cuts on sale today. They're marked down 15%. So that means you can stack it with the January 10 coupon. You can stack it with your rewards. So I would say before these go away and we get some fresh ones, because these are a limited supply, grab them. I love this strand. This is like my favorite with that table cut. This one is also really nice too. But they're really fun with, pardon me, with the charm necklaces that we did for TGBE. Or if the charm necklace really isn't your jam, you can go in and do that charm bracelet. As I said, I'm going to use some more of those 8mm from that prairie strand, that color, and I'm going to put them in this necklace to make it even more like luscious. I think it'll be really pretty. Heather, you're not a crazy bead person. One of each, right? Then you'll have enough to really work with. And again, once these are gone, they'll be gone. Hopefully we'll be able to get some more in. But yeah, they're really a fun strand to work with. Here's the other one.
You know, and I want to see yellow with it.
I know. This yellow is really the yellow strands. And it's because we don't see a lot of yellow beads. Like, look at this one. That color.
We need more of it in our lives right now. Yeah. It's sunny and happy. And which is the one? I know Margaret liked the little owl. Which one has the owl?
Well, and not all of the strands have the, a lot of them do, but it's the one with the bee.
The bee. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
So, the naturals.
Margaret got her owl.
Strand. Naturals has the owl. Okay, yeah. Naturals has the owl.
Okay.
So. And there is nothing wrong with being a crazy bead person. I love it. Yeah. Yes, for sure. You're in good company. So that's that. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Show.
Let me take this out.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, so fun. So on Friday, we're going to be doing the channel bead. I've done the channel bead for you before. I was playing around with it. Let me see. Let me put this back up just real quick so you can look at that while I go see if I can grab the channel bead. The channel bead is the one that I showed on the show with Nile and with Danielle, and we were wrapping it. Here it is.
Yes, with wax linen. Were you wrapping it with wax linen?
On Friday, here it is. And I have a new kind of colorway and stuff for it. We just got these channel beads back in. And so we're going to talk about how to pull these together. This is such a fun one. I've got a little project that I'm going to put these on. So I think you'll like them.
Did we put them back in stock?
I don't know if we put them. Did you put them in stock yet, JP?
No, I have to do that right now.
Okay. Well, the project will be up on Friday too. I mean, it'll be up. So,
okay.
But
well,
just know,
you're chatting along. I'm just putting them in stock.
Okay. In case you want to pick them up now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to use these, and I'm going to use some of Danielle's seed beads from her winter renewal box. It's going to be fun. I've got just a fun little idea to go with these. But yeah, look at this. Look at all of this decadence. These bracelets feel really decadent. They really do. And since they're glass, they're not overly spendy. And if you are making like, I don't know, a Valentine's present for someone, or just like a little just because present, everyone loves a charm bracelet, and
that's so true.
And they are, and you can make it adjustable, right? Make it adjustable. Dawn is asking the mostly solid looking yellow bead. Miranda, will you bring me the bead, the one with the bee? I think that has most of the yellow. So here's the one. Oh, so this one, no, it's this one. What's this?
Spring bouquet.
Spring bouquet. This is spring bouquet. This one with all of these yellows. This one with the honeybee has the flowers and the butterflies on it. Okay. So, but yeah, they just look delish. And then we added like some of our 6 mils and stuff. The one that's next to my thumb, is it this one? That's on this one right here. This is the big yellow strand, right? This turquoise, this would also look real pretty on there. Yeah. The fire polish looks so good on this. So, yeah, so that's my story, my friends. I'm sticking to it. Let me put, the other one. This one, the bee. That's this one.
That's yellow flower.
That's yellow flower. This one is on this one right here.
We learned the hard way when we thought, we're going to be able to get these table cuts forever. And then when we used to carry them.
Yeah, we carried them.
After a period of time, we placed an order for what the picture showed.
Mm-hmm.
And then what came in was completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're not saying these are going to be available in 3 months.
Yeah.
They may be different, especially if we get bought out.
Yeah.
But there'll be other ones. It's not like, but they are delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And,
so good.
You did very well, Kate, picking strands.
Oh, thanks. Well, it was kind of a group effort. Didn't you and I pick these? I think. I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't know. I can't remember.
I think you picked them.
No. Well, thank you. It was fun to do.
Yeah.
So there it is. There's your bead decadence for the day. Join me on Friday when we do our channel bead. We're going to have fun with that. We've got some fun things. Janice and I have been planning the calendar for the upcoming months. Some of you saw on our socials, I did a big bead buy with our African trader. So we've got some fun, like Tucson-esque things that are coming down for you. So stay tuned, as always, to the newsletter and other things.
And Danielle is doing a new mystery box.
Yeah, so that goes live. We talked about it last week, but it goes, we launch it on the 6th of February, so a week from Friday.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, I can't wait for you.
Adorable.
Super
adorable.
Yeah, super adorbs.
Yep.
Really cute. So, all right. Well, I think that's it, JP. Yep. Thanks so much for coming on today.
And thank you for having me.
Sharing some of your wisdom about this. Appreciate. This is up as a project, but I'll finish it out and I'll put the photos and stuff up. It was linked in the newsletter this morning, but it'll be complete with the broadcast and everything by this afternoon. So, so thank you so much, my darlings. Yep. I'll see you on Friday, and Janice will be back on with me soon.
Okay. Love you all.
Thanks, everyone. Safe. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.